What's up? Chilling, chilling, chilling. Chilling like a villain. Eric Owens, what's up? Tony. Then did it again. I'm seeing y'all, man. Just want to see what's up. And as we were doing yesterday by accident, it was time to talk about the Orlando Magic. Because, like I say, this is something I get asked a lot. I talk to people about, and other people can't believe it. Like, man, he's like, I sit back and think about it. Like, how did they not win? The type of team they had, man, he was like, man, they was playing some of the old highlights of the old games. And he was like, I'm watching the Orlando Magic game, and I'm like wondering, how did they ever lose? Like, who beat them? How did they lose? It don't make sense. I said, well, that's a lot of problems and a lot of mistakes that went on that hindered the Orlando Magic. Now, when the Orlando Magic came in, when the Orlando Magic came into play, they said, all right, this is our Walt Disney team. The NBA wanted to do business with Disney for a very long time. And now they got a team in Orlando, Walt Disneyland. This is what they wanted. And this was the start and the turn of the new face of the NBA. We got to be light and fluffy. And the Orlando Magic was the team that was going to be the example in the face of the new light and fluffy basketball. So Michael and the Bulls, their job was to basically facilitate the fans with Michael Jordan's era, and then the torch was supposed to go to the Orlando Magic. Hopefully they can give it to Shaq. Now, they were going to make a rivalry. Not of the Bulls in Orlando. No. Not that. Orlando Magic versus the Miami Heat. The Heat was going to be the bad guys, the Detroit Pistons, the villains, while the heroes were going to be the Orlando Magic. This was going to be your rivalry in the East. But all of this got screwed up. And we're going to get into all of that. And I'm glad you guys are here. I hope you guys are all clicked in. You guys have hit up the Cash App. Carcino's the name on that Cash App. And you're finna understand exactly how this whole thing was flawed, laid out, and ready to go. Now, let's start off with the draft. Orlando gets Shaq. Right? They get Shaq. Shaq's doing commercials, video games, and he's not really focused on winning an NBA championship. They're focusing on making Shaquille O'Neal the biggest marketing tool of the new NBA. The NBA now has this deal with NBC, and they want to go right into the Olympics and, doing what they was doing with everything else, but they want Walt Disney now. Disney bucks. So they strike a deal with the Orlando Magic in '89. They start bringing up those dollars. But they were too physical and too rough for their Disney's liking. So Orlando had to have a new positive face And who was the fun-loving guy who just generated fun? Shaq. Anybody could do the Walt Disney thing. Shaq was your guy. And what he was a walking marketing piece. They was a walking promotional marketing piece. So they said, well, we don't really have to worry about getting a lot of good guys around Shaq. We'll just get some cheap guys, put them around Shaq, and we can go from there. That makes sense. So when they did this, everybody was like, okay, it is what it is. Shaq's the guy, and that's that. So Shaq's the man the whole first year. So in the whole summer, they're signing up to do a movie. Shaq's doing this movie called Blue Chips with Nick Nolte. In this movie, Penny Hardaway's in it, a couple of other people like Calbert Chaney and the Indiana Hoosiers is the main team in there, and then they have some other players and some actors. But Penny Hardaway was the other player that they brought in. And as they're doing this movie, Penny's going pro and he's trying out for all these teams. He had tried out for the Orlando Magic. And they said he was good, but they had just put themselves in a position to say, I hope we can get Chris Webber or someone else. They weren't even thinking about Penny Hardaway. They were like, we got a point guard. Anybody can get you the ball, Shaq. We don't want to spend, number one draft pick money for that. And he played with Penny Hardaway on the same team in the movie Blue Chips. So they basically ran the game all day. And he's just seeing how Penny is just surgically getting by these guys and hitting guys with passes. Boom, boom, boom. Shaq's like, you better give me this guy. We better get this guy. We got the third pick in the draft. We ain't going to get this chance again. We bet. No. His name is Penny Hardaway. I never heard of him until I got here. You better get him. So next thing you know, they go all the way out to get Penny Hardaway. Shaq, when they drafted Chris Webber, Shaq almost had a fit because they ended up getting the number one draft pick, and Shaq's like, we're getting Penny Hardaway. But they worked out a deal so that Golden State can get him. They weren't okay with paying Chris that kind of money. So in 93, Penny Hardaway is on the Orlando Magic. Now the games begin. Oh, did the games begin? You made it.
Damn it, I'm clear now.
Clear? All right, there you go.
Yeah, man. I was finna say, man, this is a pretty interesting topic here. C-Web on the Lakers on Orlando Magic would have been pretty interesting, man.
What's up, Sino?
What's going on? So this is everything that was going wrong could have went wrong.
Right.
They gave up all those draft picks. They gave up everything to get Penny. And when they got Penny, it was the best deal they ever made. Penny was really rookie of the year, and they gave it to Chris Webber because Webber was the first pick. Webber played great, but that was Penny's award.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Penny was really rookie of the year. Compared to what he was doing, he was incredible for what they needed. Shaq needed a guy who can go out and get his own bucket, facilitate everybody. Now, the problem was they're looking at, we can just pick up pieces down the road and we're going to be competitive for a long time. The Orlando Magic was never meant to market themselves to be world champions. They were building themselves to sell tickets and merchandise. That's all they were. That's what Orlando's about. They Walt Disney. So Disney, they're making Shaq cups, Shaq figurines. They're making multi-millions of dollars based off that. They never even thought about in their mind, like, Do you know you can win a damn NBA championship?
Right.
You have the best player in the world. You have like two of the best players in the world on your team. But they were like, oh, that's going to happen down the road. Right now, we got to wait till Jordan them do their thing. And then after that, we're done. So Jordan retires. And this was going to be the Knicks was supposed to challenge the Orlando Magic. The Knicks was going to go up against Orlando. And they were supposed to be the bad guys of the Knicks. Then that was going to shift over to the Miami Heat. Because Pat Riley and Patrick Ewing was getting old. And without Jordan, the whole Bulls-Knicks rivalry don't mean anything no more. So they really didn't need the Knicks. Yeah. So the Knicks having a championship would validate them as a real true competitor. But they had gotten old and they were missing their mark. It was like their chance with that 94 season. So once they blew that
was it.
In 94, that was the year they could have won it because Orlando was better than them in 94. A lot of people don't realize that. The Orlando Magic was primed to win an NBA championship in 1994. Their problem is they just been the whole problem that plagued them every other year. They'll have it won.
Best chance to win also if Kobe would have just let Dwight win. But he wasn't gonna let that happen. No. They couldn't win because defensively they knew how to cripple Orlando. Orlando had no answer for when Kobe D'd up. It's not like playing Cleveland. Cleveland gave up too many open threes. Rashad Lewis could destroy you if you give him open shots. But if you stay up on him, he will miss all of them. Exactly. So you got to just stay on him. And Kobe was not going to let him breathe and get loose and start just whacking threes everywhere. That's just not going to happen. So I knew they were dead in the water. When they got that far, that was just like winning the championship because they were dead in the water. Especially when they went on the road. But
back to what you were saying about Orlando.
Okay, right. Now, when they were playing back in 94, they were going to beat the Indiana Pacers. They were beating the Indiana Pacers. They had the game won. And one big fluke incident happened. And the Indiana Pacers come back and win the first game. And they got swept. They couldn't recover. And that ended up being their entire history. They got swept in 94, 95,
and in 96. 3 years in a row.
3 years in a row, 3 sweeps. That team, because they collapsed and there was nobody there to help pick up the pieces. Now, this is where all the problems kick in at because now fans are expecting this team to go to an NBA championship, and they never really prepared for that. They were just milking the years. Right. So they were like, well, I don't get it. Like, why are the fans upset? And I'm like, they're upset. And it's clear if you're another GM. See, Pat Williams is not understanding that this is what you got to get done, Pat. You got to fix this to win a championship. Picking up 3D is a good piece. Nick Anderson was a good piece. But they never really quite got that second unit off the bench that could come in.
I was just going to talk about that too, man. They really never had anybody on the bench besides Brian Shaw, Jeff Turner, or what else?
Shaq had a squad in Orlando. He had Penny Hardaway, Horace Grant, Dennis Scott Jr., and he couldn't win a championship with them. That's just disappointing.
Yeah, well, because they didn't have a bench. They didn't have a second unit.
Well, the thing is, 94, they choked the Indiana series because Indiana had more experience.
That's true.
So once they lost in 94 to Indiana, and that was the year that they definitely should have won, and that was the year when they played the Knicks, Reggie Miller went up again, and Reggie Miller became a star that year.
Yep.
That's nobody really. Reggie Miller was a guy who can hit some threes and all that, but he did not become a star until that game when he came back from 25 some down and hitting all them threes, scored
18 points in 16 seconds.
League. Now he became must-see TV. Now they don't care about the Knicks. Now it's all about this Reggie Miller guy, and that got him put on the All-Star team and got him put on Dream Team 2 at the end of the season because of that. That whole one thing got Reggie put on the team. And it's a whole lot of stuff that went on that year, but that's that would have never happened had the Orlando Magic did what they were primed to do. They were the better team than Indiana, and they should have won in 95. They were just young. That was Penny's first season, and they were just not ready for how to deal with adversity. Now comes the problem.
Which is?
Because after 95, after that 94 season, they were like, okay, we're going to come back next year. We're going to be even stronger. So in 95, they come back and they pick up the one piece they felt that failed them is they didn't have the right power forward. They get Horace Grant. So they get Horace Grant from the Chicago Bulls. He comes over in a sign and trade, goes over to Orlando, and then, they get whatever they want out of this deal. And now they got Horace, and they just running away with everything. They are just smoking the division. Nobody's going to beat Orlando this year. Orlando, they smashing the whole league, and they just came out of nowhere, and people are now wanting to see the Orlando Magic do the impossible. But everybody's like, no, it's the next year now. It's like, well, the next year was 94. This year, they go up against Orlando. The Knicks are done. Knicks are done. So it was like they could win. But that year, because Patrick Ewing was hurt, and nobody really knew that.
Bad knees.
So going into 95, you started to see the emergence of how great Penny was. And then when Michael Jordan came back, even though he wasn't Michael Jordan, they beat Michael Jordan. in what was that, 5-6 games?
6 games to get game 6.
Games. They were out of there.
Yeah.
And this this young team with a second-year point guard, Penny Hardaway, just put y'all out, just got y'all out of there. Horace Grant, all of them, he just made it all look easy.
Celebrating but they won a championship or something.
Michael Jordan only played 22 games. Marco Jordan only played 22 games. He was rusty. He was coming out of
what up, man?
retirement.
No one gonna sit here and say,
what's up, y'all?
Hey, what's up?
What up?
Hey.
Nobody gonna sit here and say he played the real Michael Jordan.
Right.
we know he didn't.
Yeah.
They know that.
Right.
So during that time, though, they put out Michael Jordan. That's all they're gonna see in the papers is Michael Jordan got beat by the Orlando Magic. Period.
That was their championship right there.
So they ran into a king.
They went and played. They celebrated like crazy. They played Indiana and they played sloppy. And that was the Pacers almost pulled off the upset. They should have been out in 5 games. They ended up going 7 games with Indiana when they shouldn't. And they blew them out in the 7th game. They blew Indiana way out the water because Indiana had no business even being there. They got Mark Jackson trying to guard Penny Hardaway. No. It's not going to work.
Too small.
You got Mark Jackson in there trying to guard Penny Hardaway. You asked before.
Yeah, man. That team was young. It was nasty. It was just inexperienced that made them lose. And plus, they ain't had no clutch player that could close it out. That's why they lost to Houston. And they got swept.
So Shaq gets hurt in the finals, right? They go into the NBA finals, and Shaq's feelings get hurt because everybody's talking about Penny Hardaway in the press.
Here we go with Shaq. Ego.
Exactly.
Yep. So his feelings get hurt.
Here we go, Shaq.
Yeah. Right before the game 1, Shaq was doing his interview like, hey, don't forget me. I'm just I just averaged 20-some points, this many rebounds. Yeah, I'm nobody.
You still lost.
Right. So he's talking about they came in real cocky. And Houston even said it when they was warming up, like, this team don't respect us. Let's go. Right. They really didn't. They thought they were gonna play San Antonio or somebody else. They didn't know who. They did not think they were gonna play Houston again. And they were like, okay, cool, we get to beat the champs, but we've been smoking them. We smoked them both games. They're looking like they ain't no match for us. So we're just gonna blow them out. They were off for 10 games. And this was like a record before the NBA Finals. They were off like 10 games before they played one. So they were off, man, just having a blast, kicking it. Next thing you know, here comes this whole wave of them just running plays. Penny just dropping dime. They smoking them. And Nick and
they were up by 20-something points in that game.
Yeah, they
Magic were. Yeah, they were.
Everybody said, man, this finals is over. And sure enough, they were up 3 at the comeback by Kenny Smith hitting all these open threes. They were just got lapped. Kenny Smith hit these open threes. They were up 3 with 17 seconds. They found Nick. All you got to do is hit one. He missed both, get the rebound, get fouled again, and missed another 2.
Damn.
Hey, Casino,
never miss free throws.
I'm going to quote
to that point.
With Nick, all he needed was a slap.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
All he needed was a slap to get him out of it. I would have slapped him right down the door. Because he wasn't listening. Shaq was in his ear talking like, come on, man, you got this. And he all mad, he ain't paying no attention. He's still focusing on the free throw. I'm like, somebody got to break him out of it. They got to slap him. I'd have been like, wow, I'll be let me be that guy.
Exactly.
Let me be that guy to wake him up.
It shows to tell you how bad of a leader that Shaq was, man.
Yeah, he was a bad leader.
It shows you how bad of a leader he
hit
was,
them
man.
2 free throws then. He'd have switched.
Exactly.
He was so mad, like, hey, you just slapped me.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Just smacked him one good time.
It made us look bad.
He went from a 78% free throw shooter down to a 50 to 40% free throw shooter. It got to the point he didn't even want to shoot free throws no more.
Damn.
Oh, mind up, man.
I know it was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. It was like
Joe Cool, what up?
for him.
He straight faded away.
And Nick Anderson from the shit, he from the shot.
He made us look bad.
He said he made us look bad.
Yeah, he made us look bad with it. Don't choke like that.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he played with Benji.
Yeah.
Nick Anderson would have never gotten to Illinois. He never did any of that if Benji didn't pass away. If Nick was not like overshadowed by Benji, Benji was the best thing we had. So was Benji, we lost Benji, then Nick just started. His game went all the way up. He was inspired. So
right.
People forgot.
Remember the dedication of him.
Right.
That's why he wore 25.
Yeah.
Dedication.
Yeah. So after they lose the finals, they get swept. They don't win one game. Shaq can't guard Hakeem. They can't do nothing with Drexler. Clyde ain't never won. He knew this was probably his final shot.
So
Clyde dominated Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson couldn't hold him. Nobody could.
So I thought Clyde didn't have it no more. He showed y'all what it was.
Yeah, Clyde had it, and he gave it to him. So after that, the whole team started to fall apart a little bit. But everybody expected, like, that's okay. That was y'all first year there. Next year it's gonna be this is the run of the Orlando Magic. This is it. Next year, 96, people thought the Bulls are done.
Oh,
when the Bulls was coming back in 96, even after watching Jordan, they were like, oh, they done. Like that whole Jordan thing, that's over. It's Penny time. Penny, they were the number 1 ranked team in the NBA to come back and win it the next year after the NBA Finals. And then they did it. I mean, here's the thing that really went down and nobody talk about. After the end, Taco Bell did a promotional deal, paying them $1 million a piece to play a basketball game. It was a series of people that was going to play one-on-one basketball on a pay-per-view. Shaq versus Hakeem. And they were getting ready to do this game. And they was trying, I'm like, they really going through with this? The NBA was trying to stop it and do all they could to stop this thing. And it was coming down to like the last minute. But wasn't nobody buying this on pay-per-view because they were like, is this real or a commercial? They had a commercial. They was riding a bike together on Taco Bell, sharing tacos, getting ready to play each other. And they had other games. The other games on the undercard was going to be pretty interesting. But I forgot who they was. We'll go through that another day. But that was going to be interesting. Yeah. So the thing is, Shaq got hurt. And he tried to hide it from the NBA. Shaq got hurt and tried to hide it from the NBA. playing around, getting ready, trying to play in this doggone $1 million thing, and the thing got called off, right? I mean, Hakeem was in the locker room lacing his shoes to play. That's how close it came.
Wow.
Before they pulled the plug. They was like, well, we ain't getting a lot of people buying this. We just going to pull the plug. We done. So they pulled the plug right then and there. Because they said ain't nobody really buying this, but he was hurt. So Shaq ended up going in, and he was out for like about 2 months. He came into practice and re-injured himself. And Shaq had gained so much weight, messing around, being stupid, partying, being Shaq. Familiar? It sounds like a familiar trait with Shaq, don't it? He carried that right on over to LA.
Exactly. Yep, he sure did. And Kobe had to carry the load.
Even worse with LA, man.
So Penny
Shaq gets all the credit.
So Penny the one that carried the team.
Absolutely.
In 95, 96. All those games, they beat Michael Jordan and the Bulls, the 72-10 Bulls, without Shaq. Penny came out there and beat him up. Called him and Scotty up.
Yeah. Penny was a problem, man.
Yeah, so after he did that, they were like, whoa, what's going on? Like, man, okay, like this dude, Shaq, get back. We finna run the whole
popularity
thing.
back up. His popularity went right up.
Oh, yeah, they said he was better than Mike. Yep. And Mike went off on Penny, just tried to destroy him. But Penny still held his own. So Mike was like, yeah, this guy here, he can ball. He for real.
Right.
But this whole year changed around, though. When Shaq came back, it was no more unity. It was no more unity like it was the year before, because now Penny had endorsements up the yin yang. After the NBA Finals, you got Air Pennies. Penny had purple. Penny got all these things coming for him now. You got Tyra Banks in there. His shoes is up there, the Air Pennies. People still trying to get them first year.
And the jealousy comes into play.
He's like, I want them Air Pennies.
I gotta look them Air Pennies up, man.
I'm like, I wonder if they gonna bring that shoe back. The Air Pennies.
Penny Hardaway commercials. Yeah, those were nice.
Yeah,
but even my mom, she didn't even know basketball. She loved the little Penny Hardaway dolls.
Yeah,
the magic.
And once Shaq did that thing with the other little Penny thing on that Super Bowl ad, that was all out of hate.
Yeah.
And he definitely was hating on Penny. He thought it was funny. Like, oh, he gonna like this. Man, Penny didn't talk to him for like the rest of the season. That was from the January to like April. They weren't really talking.
That was foul, yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. And then he was in there battling for money. Like, if they don't pay me my money.
Oh, them look nice.
Yo, Cino, speaking of that, didn't
that's the Air Penny?
Oh, them look nice.
Wait, let me see. Oh, those are the phone posits.
Yeah. I mean, not that. Yeah, those look nice though.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Them the new
ones. Nice. Yeah, them look nice, man.
Penny Hardaway.
Nice.
Look nice, man. I gotta get them. Yeah, man. But
that one.
Yeah, but I was gonna say,
I could have watched that and we would have won the championship. Easy.
You say
easy
what?
Easy works,
Yeah. You think that, man? I think in '96 they really had a shot, but by them being, Dennis Rodman was too much of a problem. They had no answer.
And Shaq couldn't win because of Jordan.
Exactly, man.
Jordan is the GOAT.
Shaq ended up getting shut down by Dennis Rodman. By somebody
well, the thing is, Mike can do it, but with Penny, they gonna have problems. Penny could get to the next level. Mike could get on Penny, but Penny could take him in the post and shoot over Mike. Mike never did anything like that.
Yeah.
He never been faced with a guy. Mike tried that all aggressive on Penny. Penny was still scoring on Mike. And Mike was like, okay, I got to wear this kid down defensively and make him work, because he said he going to get his, but I got to stay on him and make him work so he get tired in the fourth quarter. So the rest of y'all got to do y'all jobs like on big man, Big Shaq and everything. So Dennis Rodman and them, they held. Horace Grant came up small, and so did Shaq.
Yeah, exactly. Whole
And he could
branch.
dribble with
Yeah.
both hands too. He could do both. He could dribble with both hands.
Yup.
Exactly.
Didn't Shaq want to look at Alonzo Mourning's contract and want more money than Alonzo
Yeah, that's what
Mourning?
after the season was over, he went into a whole negotiational thing, but he really wanted out the door anyway, because before the season was over, the Lakers was already secretly making deals to try to get Shaq.
Wow.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, they was already. That's why they was all talking about it on there. All the experts is like, we getting whispers that LA, they got a bunch of money over there in Los Angeles, and they talking about, if Shaq ain't happy here, they already got a star in Penny Hardaway.
So that was
They might not want to. They ain't been playing happy together, and they wasn't. The Orlando Magic could not win on the road. They won over 60 games that year and could not win on the road. They had like one of the worst road records for a 60-win team. They could not win on the road. And mainly, no communication with Shaq. It was almost non-existent.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to get some other people in here. I see my man T done got up in here. Yeah, look at T.
I think you didn't got a They look like what's going on, bro?
I had to come out the quarantine, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, T back. We got
man, I missed a couple. I missed a couple. Y'all been doing some late night sessions.
I'm so mad I missed that last live stream, man. That was all my conversation that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah,
finally told me I couldn't even get my notification, man. I was like, that was a good stream too, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
so Trae Young, so Trae Young is really going to the Knicks?
Well, we don't know yet. They want him. Remember, they wanted him the whole draft. That's why that's not no Photoshop. He's really in Knicks clothes. He in Knicks gear.
Wow.
He's trying to go to the Knicks.
Yeah.
So, wait. So he wants to come to the Knicks?
He always wanted to come to the Knicks.
Oh man,
the Knicks was gonna get him, but
listen,
they didn't get the position to draft him. So right. So they was gonna put him for Porzingis. They was thinking all that. They had it all planned out.
Yeah,
so Porzingis ended up getting out of there. So they was like, all right, that's scrap. But
so this was gonna happen.
They got to make up for not getting Steph Curry in the draft.
Yeah,
well, they didn't get a chance. They got job. Golden State traded up ahead of the Knicks so that they could steal Steph Curry. They were gonna draft.
Yeah. That's why you got to be aggressive sometimes to get what you want. You can't just sit there and wait.
I don't see how anybody wants to play for the Knicks, man.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a little young nucleus a little bit, but they're not all that great. Like Kevin Knox, he could go. Mitchell Robinson, that's a person I do not want to get traded. He has a lot of potential. They have
to be the worst run organization in the NBA right now. You know what I'm saying? They have to be the worst run, and all the bad, all the bad press Dolan has been getting over the last year. I could never want to play for the Knicks.
What's up,
Dallas Cowboys and the Knicks are the same.
About time you went damn live.
You said
about
what?
Time you done had. I said about time you done had a freaking live that I could call in, yo. You've been missing, man.
We have been having. You just ain't got the notification.
Yeah, they've been doing the late night boys.
Yeah, 3 a.m. and all that, man. Goddamn, bro.
Yeah, boy, man. I'm back to.
We still be talking. We be half asleep. We had one guy fall asleep. It was like, wake homeboy up.
Yeah, I remember that 5 a.m.
I'm out of quarantine. I'm back to work and everything, man. So it's over with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. They got y'all back.
Hey, I just want to say cancel Drew Brees. That's all I got to say.
That was everybody, man.
Hey,
hours ago.
It was.
Tell
me,
what exactly did he say? I heard the I saw all the outrage, but I don't know what he said. What did he say?
He's still trying to support that shit like it's a flag. The flag is the reason why people kneeling. He's still trying to take it like it's disrespect to the flag.
Right.
Like, come on, bro. It ain't got nothing to do with the flag.
That's because he watched Fox. Doesn't tell you he watched Fox every day. He walk out the house. That's all he is. So
I'm sure his PR staff is writing up an apology right now.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah. They gonna have to.
Yo, but
New Orleans.
But I mean, I think it speaks to a larger.
Black.
I just think it speaks to the larger narrative, man, of just nobody wants to talk about the facts. Everybody just has their own perspective that they want to push on to other people. You know what I'm saying? And then people take that and make that their own perspective. You know, it's crazy, man. This media is crazy, man. People got to really be careful, man, about what they ingest, man.
Oh yeah, the media is a weapon. That Malcolm X been said that. The media is a weapon. They know how to instigate a lot of stuff. They're doing it right now.
Yeah, they using it, bro. They using it. Yeah, they using it, man. You got to be very careful, man. Be able to think for yourselves out here, man. Because I tell you, they after people's souls out here, bro.
Straight up.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I got two homeboys I went to high school with, and I'm like, y'all bebop and rock steady. What the heck?
Rock steady.
I'm like, people had something to say on my Instagram. You ain't looking at the right thing. I'm like, y'all know, and I'm like, y'all still the same since high school, man.
Nothing changed.
All the way. He right. They liking each other comment. I'm like, yeah. I swear.
Yeah.
But on the real, I think I'm about sit. I think I'm gonna sit this NFL season out. I don't know. I might.
I ain't sitting it out.
Yeah,
I'm not sitting it out.
NFL.
I might sit it out. I don't know.
I mean, it's always been racist, man.
Yeah, but it ain't even about the racist. It's just I don't want to see that fake shit where everybody gonna be dealing and everything. Everybody gonna be alright with it now. I ain't gonna feel that. You know what I mean? Man,
I just want to see
man.
Football. I don't.
Yeah, I love the sport. Yeah, I don't care about that side thing, but I do want people to stand up.
I'm gonna watch Burrell go out there and win this ring. That's all I need.
Yo, I am not looking for the NFL to solve racism, dog.
No, me either. Me either.
I don't want to see it neither because this is my first time in 20 years my Bills could maybe do something this year. They can finally win the division.
You said what team?
Bills.
Oh, the
maybe finally win the division.
Man, my team is the Jets, man.
If that team make the Super Bowl, I'm scared, the Bills, because I do not. The pressure on that team to lose.
Hey, Cito, chill.
I was happy that Drew Brees.
That boy, I love losing Super Bowls.
I'll weigh all that, man.
We just happy that Tom Brady's out of the division.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Tom Brady, they might actually have a shot
now too.
But I bet you the Patriots, they still gonna be good enough to go like 10-6 and win the division. You know what I'm saying?
They probably will.
Listen,
they probably
Drew
will.
Brees, this man Bill Belichick is nobody to sleep on. So I'm still keeping my eyes out on him.
Exactly.
No matter where he drives, he's gonna pick up a superstar. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. If I could go back to what you were saying about Shaq and the Orlando Magic, man. What you said about Shaq just sums up the reason why. One of the reasons why he's not. I wouldn't put him in the greatest of 50 greatest of all time or whatever, man. He's not a good leader. Never worked on his game. Never really practiced like that. He was careless. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put him in that. He had no moves
at all.
Damn, y'all ain't put Shaq in the top 50?
Oh, hell no.
Yeah,
I put him like 45.
50, though.
I can put him in the 45.
No, I don't. Sorry,
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, Dad. When I saw Shaq fold the whole basket, man, that was amazing, Dad. You know what I'm saying?
I heard that was a setup, though.
Yeah, exactly.
For me. Because I'm the only one that's gonna tell you.
Oh, I did hear it from you.
Exactly.
That's right.
You say, whoa. What about when he tore the whole backboard off the doggone rim?
Yeah.
Set up.
They staged both of those. They had that fake rim, bro.
I was like, yeah, I did get that from Cito.
Yeah, I mean, check it out, man. Check it out, man. We didn't see players like Daryl Dawkins shatter the entire backboard, man. That's real. Come on.
This is true. This is true. Corliss Williamson did it in college, I remember.
Yeah.
He did it at Arkansas.
Yeah. Michael Jordan shattered the backboard too.
They don't have Shaq. They try to make it like he was the strongest player to ever play in the league.
Strongest man to ever be.
Come on, man.
We ain't never seen nobody dunking in the whole rim, just go and recline.
That did seem kind of fake. That did seem kind of fake.
Hey, at the time, it was amazing, dad. Like ain't nobody. He folded the whole basket.
It looked like it.
Yeah, man. Sometimes NBA equals WWE. Sometimes.
Exactly. It's scripted. It looked the part.
Yep. I remember they did a whole. I remember they did a whole little piece on how they changed all the NBA rims after that. You know what I'm saying? To have the extra support.
You gotta make it stronger because Shaq is so big.
It was ridiculous. I swear, I was like, man, they straight went Walt Disney. I was like, yeah, they definitely going Walt Disney. And when he did it, the whole thing went down. They were like, Shaq did it again. Man, he's strong.
And that's when he started getting all those movie roles and everything like that. Yeah, oh man.
Because that's what Orlando was for. They wanted those Disney dollars. They didn't give a damn about the Orlando Magic. That's why they got. Man, they weren't never supposed to get no 2 number ones back. They had the 1% chance, one ball in there, and they beat out all the. I said, man, if this is some bull. Right?
Yeah, I thought that shit was it was hella phony, dog. Like, come on, dog. You know what I'm saying?
That was a setup if I ever seen it.
Yeah.
Well, that year they go and play the Bulls and they lose. Shaq was out of there. It was so disrespectful because Penny was on Dream Team. Penny went to play in the Dream Team. People forgot that he was on Dream Team 3.
3.
Right, yeah.
I got that too.
That was a 97, right?
That was 96.
96. 96.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah, 96.
No, that was 96 is 2. 96 is Dream Team 2.
I thought 94.
Yeah.
Right, it was.
Yeah, 96 is Dream Team 2.
Charles Barkley was on that team too, man.
It's 4 years,
Wait a minute.
4 years.
Oh, right. My fault. It was 94. My fault. Dang, I'm getting
94.
Because I remember Sean Kemp was on that team.
In 94.
They did. I remember that.
It's 92, 96, and 2000.
Yeah. It's every 4 years.
Oh, yep. 4 years.
Yeah, but no, they played in another one. They had Dream Team 2 in 94. They had Shaq, Isiah Thomas. Isiah never played on the team because he got hurt. Reggie Miller, Larry Johnson, and they won.
Right.
There you go. Okay.
Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, his bum ass was on there, but yeah.
I don't think Scottie was on there.
Joe Dumore's on there. I remember that. That's
Joe Dumars was on the team.
And Morley was on there.
Johnson took Isaiah's spot.
Johnson. Who else?
Larry Johnson, Grandmama, and Shaq still believes Dream Team 2 would have beat Dream Team 1.
Stop it. Yeah, when I first heard that crap, get out of here, bro. Come on. Get out of here.
Yeah, so Dream Team 3 came along in 96. Penny was there, and on that day, they doing the media thing, and they were telling him, like, what would you feel like, like, how do you think the team would be when Shaq's not there anymore? And he was like, well, if that happens, we'll deal with it. It had already went down. He didn't know about it. He was sitting on the podium. He learned right then and there from the media. Shaq had already signed a deal to go with LA.
Right. So
they did him dirty, man. They did Penny dirty, man.
They did.
They did him dirty.
They really did, man.
Yeah, they really did.
Screwed it up because all he had to do was make Shaq feel like he was the man still. Shaq, that's all Shaq needed was that ego boost. He just wanted to make, if he made $1 more than Alonzo Mourning, he'd have been all good.
And didn't you say at one point he was going to make more money by staying in Orlando? Didn't you say that? If he would have stayed in Orlando, he would have made more money anyway?
Yeah, he would have made more money.
But he wasn't trying to stay. Or They were saying on the 30 for 30, man, like him and Penny started beefing. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, Shaq, Penny was starting to get on him like Kobe did for being lazy and not practicing like he was supposed to.
We just said a few minutes ago.
He got hurt. CT, you probably missed it, but he got hurt doing that.
Yeah, I that's when I first got into the chat when y'all was talking about the they had the commercial where Shaq stepped on Lil Penny.
He was getting too popular.
Yeah. He elbowed him off the couch.
A half that season, Shaq missed the beginning. He missed like the first 2 months of the NBA season.
Oh yeah, that's what he did. Yeah,
right, because he was supposed to. Him and Elijah was practicing to play this 1-on-1, and then Shaq was out there practicing for that, and he hurt himself, hurt his leg, and then next thing you know, they called the thing off. The NBA said, "Nope, it's done."
I mean, Shaq would have lost that 1-on-1 anyway, so you know.
Yeah, he would have. I mean, 1-on-1 with King Elijah would have carried. It would look worse than the
Elijah would have shot jumpers.
Exactly.
He would have shot jumpers all day.
Yeah. Right. Jumpers, dream shaking to death, all that.
Shot jumpers. He like Elijah wasn't no weak dude. He could post up.
Definitely
Shaq and take back and right down to the rim.
Exactly. He wasn't no skinny, scrawny motherfucker. He was a strong dude.
He wasn't soft, nowhere near soft.
Elijah can fight too.
He was fight too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he could. He
tough as nails, Dad. Tough as nails.
He wasn't no punk either, man. Heard about that time he slapped Vernon Maxwell for saying some shit. Yeah, he wasn't no punk, man.
So next year, Shaq is gone. So they had Vernon Maxwell on the team. It was probably the most guards I've ever seen on a team in history. They got, what's his name? Darryl Armstrong, the man who
he used to always get hurt.
Yeah, he can't stay.
From Fairville State.
What? He was a one hit wonder, Dad. One hit wonder.
I seen him in a dunk contest in '96. It was horrible.
They got him now. And I'm like, man, they had everybody. Only buddy they had is the guy who I got right next to LeBron James, Danny Shades. They both side by side.
Yo, how did Danny Shades make it into
from the Heat all those years? Ronnie Cycli, baby, that dude was
Ronnie Cycli. Yeah, I remember Ronnie Cycli. He put you in the
that man gonna go from the Heat to Orlando and back to he ain't going nowhere outside of Florida.
Ronnie Cycli.
Yeah, he's from Florida.
Ronnie Cycli. That's what Shaq got.
I remember Ronnie Cycli used to have a little pivot game. You know what I'm saying? In the post.
He was the guy you saw on the beach every day. With this Razor Ramon. Good job.
All day, Dad.
Ronnie Cycli, baby.
Hairy chest all out. You know what I'm saying?
He got the phone with the stogie in the mouth.
He reeks of aftershave. You know what I'm saying?
Like Razor Ramon, like Machiko.
He reeks of aftershave. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
That is hilarious. Hey, real quick, I got a question for you. Yeah. This just crossed my mind. If you had a chance to like restructure the dream team one and pick certain players and take certain players off, who would you if you had a chance to redo that team, who would you have?
But definitely Scottie Pippen wouldn't be on the team.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Chris Mullins
He's been consistent with that.
I love the fact Mullins
Layton, the bum ass would have been out too.
Exactly, Dad. Say it again.
Christian Layton have been out too.
They should put Chris Webber on the team.
Yeah,
I gotta get Layton earned this fight. He
did.
He was a bad boy in college.
I'll give credit with credit too, man.
You have to give it up. Like Layton was hands down the best college basketball player that year. You know,
at that time he was.
4 years, he was busting Shaq up. Shaq came in and they played LSU. I'm like, Shaq finna kill them, man. Shaq up, man. I watched that game. I'm like, Shaq ain't.
See, it's different when you actually watch the game instead of watching highlights.
Right. Yeah, you saw what Grant Hill was able to do, man.
Well,
How he
no,
was able to
it was like
facilitate
at that time. You who ran that LSU team was Chris Jackson and shit. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that ran that team.
Yeah, he was the best player on the team. That's why I'm like, Shaq, you wasn't even the best player in college. You talking about on the dream team? I'm like, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf should have been on the team.
Exactly.
Yo, they want to talk about like Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. He was the first Kaepernick. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talks about how he got blackballed. You know what I'm saying? Out the league.
True that.
Except for he was real. You know that he really was what he was. Yeah, everybody
exactly.
Else, he ain't cap.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's what capping came
Abdul
from.
Rauf and Craig Hodges.
Yeah, man. But most definitely on that on Dream Team 1, I most definitely would have put Dominique Wilkins on there with Scottie Pippen for real.
Well, they said Dominique would have made it.
He was hurt,
I thought he went to go play for
because Dominique, even though he broke his leg or something, his ACL, he was back ready to play by the time they played. Right. He was back ready to go. So when they made the announcement, they were like, well, he was injured at the time we made the announcements. So we're taking
I remember the rumor was that he's a French nationalist, so they wasn't gonna let him play because of that.
He was born in France.
He did reside
born in France. Citizenship. Their family was in the military. He was born in Germany, but he got dual citizenship because his father is American and he was over there stationed in Germany. So
he's a brother, man. Go ahead.
Right. Him and Gerald, they born
in France.
Yeah, but he a brother. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, he got dual citizenship, so he got the choice. He could play on the Dream Team. That was never a problem.
Exactly.
He should have been on that team. There's no way he shouldn't have been on that team, man. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't have picked him at all, and definitely wouldn't have put no damn Scottie Pippen. I was like, Scottie Pippen, I'd have had Dennis Rodman on the team before I put Scottie Pippen.
And plus, he made
all day
too.
Man, can you imagine Dennis Rodman playing defense in the Olympics?
Right, I would have had James Worthy. I'm like, big game James.
Right.
Put on there. There was so many.
Worthy should have been over Muller.
Robinson would have damn well been off my team because he the reason they made the Dream Team. He was so damn terrible in the 1988 Olympics. It was disgraceful. He was embarrassing what they did to him in the trials to get them ready, playing against the pros to get them ready to go. They was like, I don't even know if he coming in the league. Why he #1 draft pick? Y'all talking about?
David Robinson.
Yeah, he's all gonna put tissue. This dude.
I saw that video you was going off on David Robinson too, man. Rightfully so, man.
That's why Dennis couldn't. He had to go. He like, dude, you ain't got to kiss everybody's ass. Is that one ass you don't kiss, David? Damn.
You softening baby boys, man.
Bad boys, they was bad.
Like I say, he's a product of David Falk.
Yeah,
he was. David Falk was.
David Robinson.
Yeah, that was the agent. That's why he came out and made that statement, trying to take the pressure off Mike.
Well, yeah, they were just bad boys, you know. You wouldn't want to play with bad boys. I'm like, man, get the hell on somewhere with that.
Yo, I finally finished watching The Last Dance, man. I never knew how sensitive Mike was, man. Mike is a sensitive dude.
I knew all along. I was the only one in Chicago taking all that damn
man.
Bum. I was like, man, this super sensitive bum. He mad because he can't win. He can't have his.
He couldn't beat Isiah, man.
It was cracking me up. It was cracking me up because it was like they would keep going these clips, like, and I was faced with this, and I just took it personally, like, like, dang, dad, like he just took everything personally, dad. Like, man, you are a dude, bro.
That's how he had to get himself going that way. Exactly. Mike had like they said, that's the difference between Phil always said that's the difference between Mike and Kobe. Kobe competitiveness is on that court.
Exactly.
When he locked in, you ain't got to do nothing. And he's like, him and Michael got that. But when Kobe, he take a shower, get out of there, that's gone. Kobe, he threw. Mike, it don't stop in the parking lot, on the bus, on everything. He flipping quarters. You see him, he trying to win the flipping quarters.
Gambling, flipping quarters, man.
For real.
My man told him, he's like, man, he betting thousands of dollars with some dude who barely, he need this money bad. You drive from the guy on there, they betting on the little races that be at the game. There's them little cup be running around, the donut, the coffee cup.
Yeah.
On who gonna win? Mike would. The guy would tip him off like, okay, yeah, this guy gonna win. So he'll let the guy pick. You pick. And if the guy just happened to pick the right one, then Mike wouldn't win. It'd be a draw, but Mike wouldn't lose. But if the dude picked the wrong one, Mike already know the winner. Mike will bet him. All right, let's bet. So Mike was never gonna take an L.
Yeah. Shameful, man. Shameful, man.
That's what you call the sickness.
That dude. That's a funny dude, man.
Exactly.
That's a real weird, funny dude, man.
He's so weird.
For real, man. Like I just didn't know. Like, you know, it's like, man, he was tying his shoes the wrong way, so I took it personal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God,
he didn't shake my hand.
Dude, he was mad the whole time on the LeBradford Smith. Like, he told me nice game and hit me, and I had to come back and get him. He told himself that in his mind. LeBradford Smith had never said one word to Michael Jordan.
He ain't have to taunt like that. He knows who I am.
He did that with the Detroit Pistons after a game, and I to this day, now watching The Last Dance, I said he lied. That ain't never happened. He said somebody spit on my wife and spit on Juanita in the game, and one of the Piston fans and spit on my wife, and Isiah even spoke up and was like, hey, if anybody did that, you know, like, that's not how we do things here in Detroit. You know, we've handled the thing on the court. I mean, it was a big deal. Like, man, yeah, they spit on Michael Jordan's wife. And I was like, he probably created all that bull up.
You know he's a liar now. You know he's a liar now.
The thing is, I messed with Michael Jordan.
That audio came out. Man. He is a liar, and he knew he was wrong, and that's why he lied about it. You know what I'm saying? Liar, dad.
Wait, ain't nobody gonna call him out on it either. They now talking about it. I don't see Stephen A. Smith no more. Stephen A. went on a vacation. He ain't even go out. You caught that too, didn't you? You caught that Stephen A. said word.
He didn't. Yeah. He didn't.
Stephen A. was like, they got Mike on tape. Oh, I'm not coming in.
Oh man.
No, I can't do that. No, I told you you need to let it go. And then here come the audio. Oh no, I look like a fool.
I'm taking a vacation.
I think I got COVID-19. Yeah, I'm going.
And you know he can't say nothing wrong with about Michael Jordan because you only got a one strike rule with Michael Jordan. As soon as you cross that one time, he ain't talking to you.
But Charles Barkley can't stand him now. See, Barkley is trying to let y'all know exactly what really went down. It just had nothing to do with what Barkley was saying. He said something even smaller than that before. It was before that comment that Barkley talked about that did it. He said Barkley said something else that was really smaller than that, and he was mad about that. But Charles is like, then you ain't really my friend. Like, my life ain't gonna end because Michael Jordan don't want to be my friend no more. Like,
exactly.
I'm the one that ain't gonna talk to him. He's like, if it could be fixed, Charles could fix it easy. He can. Charles Oakley act like, yeah, I got rid of Charles Barkley. Now I can get closer to Mike.
Get some free Jordans.
Right. So you get some
finally got my spot. You know what I'm saying?
Got Scottie pimping out the way too.
Waddling up in there. And I'm like, this is the only dude in the NBA I know that waddle. He just waddle.
It's a free waddle.
Yeah.
Bow-legged, man. Charles Oakley bow-legged.
You see the waddle? Oh, that's Oak.
Man. The oak tree, man.
Oak tree.
He came sticking up. He's a fake tough guy. Like, man, everybody knew you was fake. Nobody scared of you. And like, man, Mahorn. I was like, I'll watch Mahorn. He whooped the whole Bulls team by himself, and you was the first to get.
That was funny.
Dude,
yeah, he was strong
he was
too.
trying to pull. He was trying to pull. He was trying to save Doug Collins' life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nelson cracked me up because the Nelson was stay down, Doug. Stay down.
Board mission.
He threw him over the tape like,
get out the way, Doug. Get out the way, Doug.
People don't know how strong Rick is.
It's that natural born strength right there, man.
Rick Mahorn is so strong. People just had no idea unless you played against him. They was like, man, you saw on the 30 for 30. My man took 2 bricks. Bam! Slammed them together. Broke
man.
Yeah,
hey, look, he's got one of the most recognized defensive plays ever. You know, the pull the chair. You know what I'm saying? He's so strong, dudes use all their strength to try and back him down, and he just stepped back and let him fall right on the ground, traveling. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Call it the pull the chair. You know what I'm saying?
I love that,
man.
But yeah.
They was like, Rick had that butt. Rick just hit you, boom, and you go fly like he hit Rick.
You couldn't move him.
Oh, man.
Yep. You couldn't move him, Dad. You couldn't move him.
Man.
Yeah.
But I see Scottie Pippen saying that Kobe Bryant was better than Michael Jordan. I guess he's trying to get back at Michael Jordan.
Man, Scottie Pippen he can't say nothing like Zeke said.
I mean, I agree with that, but I know Scotty is just trying to get back.
Go to the Michael say something, Larry, Magic, cool. But Scottie
for real. Because I remember like 3 or 4 years ago, he said LeBron James was better than Michael Jordan to get back at Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he mad at Mike because Mike ain't have his back no more when he needs some money. Mike,
he said this after the documentary too. Like he's like, I've been watching a lot of Kobe Bryant like films and stuff. I'm like, man, he's actually better than Michael Jordan. I really believe that now.
It's gonna take him a long time, and then when she say Isiah better than Mike, oh boy, Mike then really did something wrong to him.
Oh yeah. If you talking about Isiah Thomas, you know it's over. It is over. Relationship done. They probably will edit him out of the Last Dance.
He damn near was.
He said damn where it was.
The only parts he had in them last couple episodes was him carrying Mike off the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Other than that, it was basically
I mean, he kept going to the back. He kept going to the back, coming back out.
Hey, and Mike wanted to talk some noise, man. Like really, you could hear him like, oh, you know, Scotty was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like looking out the corner of his eye, like he didn't really believe him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I dealt with migraines before. I can't lie. That is something serious. But when it's something on the line like that, you gotta play, man. You gotta play.
Get out of here, man.
About all that, man. You could have stayed home, but you chose to play, man.
Exactly.
They had all these players there, right? They had Donald Royal and Penny. They was doing good, working together. And then Donald Royal was like, man, you know, like they trying to put Dale Demps in here, and they want Dale Demps. Then come in here, he was like, man, why they trying to force Dale Demps? And like, we don't need Dale Demps. Like Dale Demps was not doing well.
Yeah,
I was like all messed up and blew a big opportunity the year Shaq was gone. Y'all come in here with this Dale Demps, man. And it was like, we're gonna just make it the Penny show, baby. You know, Penny, you've been running. People don't remember that they was doing good. When they first started, they was doing great.
Man, Penny was averaging about 30 points a game. He was clowning. When it was no Shaq.
They picked up Gerald Wilkins, and they was like, all right, we got Kenny Smith, Gerald Wilkins. There's a point guard heaven. So they was running, and during that year, you know, he kept disagreeing with them trying to force Dale Demps into the on lineup. It's like, dude, you got Dale Demp. You trying to force Dale Demp to do things you shouldn't do, and he was like, man, this ain't working out. Because Penny was at the point like, I'm about to punch Brian Hill. Brian Hill, people didn't realize how bad of a coach Brian Hill was.
No, I didn't.
They just won this in spite of Penny. They won in spite of him. They were like, look, whatever Dale calls, screw that. Dennis, don't even think about going in for 2. Just stay out there by the 3. We're gonna hit you up. Hey, that's me, 3D, baby. Right, you too damn slow. Let me and Shaq. You just stay out there. Just hit the shot. All right, here we go into the club, baby. I mean, yeah, okay. 3D more than anybody.
I'm sleep.
Shaq was everywhere, kicking it, making rap songs. That's how he became.
See?
He knew right away. Dennis Scott knew, like, if I want to have a career, he gonna be the next superstar. I'm kicking it with him every night.
Yep.
He beat me, so he gonna keep me on the team. And ever since then, I was his roller boy. They in the video, outstanding. Dennis Scott, first name daddy. Dad saw him and said, "That's me." 2 bottles down, 3D, baby. I was like, do you do any suicide drills? Man, I had some suicide shots last night. We just do it.
Right, Dad.
Hey, man, but then
he became the world's first J.R. Smith.
Oh man!
Him and said, I want to be him.
Oh yeah, that J.R. Smith situation was funny.
Dennis Scott, did he end up going to Dallas? Where did he end up going to? Where did 3D end up going? Did he end up going to Dallas or Atlanta or something like that?
I think he got traded to Dallas, man. But he was nice though when he first came to the league, man. He was nice. Yeah, he had a beautiful.
What happened to Donald Royal? What happened to Donald Royal after that? Where did Donald Royal go?
Donald Royal, man, because he played here in Notre Dame, man. He was doing good for them down there because Penny needed another guy that was athletic that could run with him, and that was a good pickup for them at the time when they had Royal. But Penny got hurt, man. That was the flukiest injury in history.
Damn, that's like a what if.
Man,
ran into him in the back.
Penny was just gonna jump for the rebound, and it's like perfect timing. Dude hit the back of his knee right when he was getting ready to extend and jump, and he tore his MCL. And at first he just hurt it, and he didn't know what was wrong, man. He just iced his knee down, and he just played with it for a couple of days, and was like, I can't play on it no more. Like he's like, I got to go get it checked out, and then he had a tore his MCL.
Damn.
Ruined his career, man.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly, I think Nick Anderson tried to step up in his place, and he had like a good half a season, but he was no good after them free throws in the finals, man.
That's what I'm saying. He was gone.
He was gone.
Yep, in 97, dude, he said Penny averaged 31 points in 97.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, without Shaq that first year, man, he was going. It was like the Penny Show. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The Penny Show, man.
Yep.
They blew out the Lakers. They blew out the Lakers in one of the games in Orlando on Sunday, and Shaq didn't play that game.
Yeah,
of course.
But, they blew the Lakers out. I saw that game. I watched that game last week on YouTube.
Yeah, Horace got off.
Yeah,
because I'm guessing Kobe wasn't playing at that time, right? They benched him. Coach had him benched.
A little bit. He didn't play a lot of minutes.
Yeah, he came off the bench.
I mean, that was his rookie year.
Yeah, that was his rookie year. 97.
Axel was hurt too.
Yep. Man,
but if Penny didn't get hurt,
EJ.
He still won. Man, you look at his career as a whole, he still was great.
He definitely was.
Who that? Who you talking about?
Penny.
Oh, Penny Hardaway.
Oh man, he was my favorite player, man, for them 3 years, man. Like, I mean, you know, I saw you pull out the foam pennies earlier, man. I remember I copped the first ones, the bubble pennies. Those was my favorite ones. I never liked the foam boys.
Yeah.
Brandon Roy was another one too. He was just like Penny Hardaway.
Those are the second
He's a
ones.
what if player.
The first ones had the bubble in the back. You know what I'm saying? With the number one on the back.
Roy was a monster. Yeah.
Brandon Roy was a monster.
He was most definitely a monster.
Who?
Brandon Roy from Portland.
Who?
Brandon Roy.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's a what if.
He tore his knee. He messed. He had the degenerative knees too.
Yeah.
Charlotte should have drafted him. They should have drafted him. Charlotte. I said
he had the degenerative. He had the bad knees, man. Them bad knees killed him.
Yeah.
Bad
Charlotte
knees.
Man. They drafted Adam Morrison that year. I'm like,
wait, so Cino, you said that you didn't want Carmelo Anthony. You don't think he was gonna be good?
What are you talking about? You just came out.
No, you talking about on Detroit.
Oh no! I was talking about the last stream. I was listening to the last stream.
I knew what he was saying.
Hey man, that last stream was really good. I took some notes.
Man, Carmelo, that would have changed the whole direction of the Pistons, man.
Yeah, that would have been your future.
Right.
That was about to be everything. And like, see, he could like Denver. The thing that always kills me is like Denver. They basically still eating off trading Carmelo Anthony years ago. You know what I'm saying? Because they just keep bringing in like marginal to good players. You know what I'm saying? But like, man, when you draft Darko Milicic, man, like you don't get nothing for that. You know what I'm saying?
They're looking for
Carmelo, he could have came and played 5-6 years, whatever that rookie contract was. We would have got our championships. He could have still went on to the Knicks or wherever he wanted to go and got his money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we'd have still had draft picks and everything. You know?
Yeah.
That was epic mistake from Joe, man. Epic mistake, man.
It happens, man.
They were looking for the next Dirk Nowitzki.
Royal thing, and they ended up doing a trade with the Charlotte Hornets, and they should have gotten Vlade Divac. That's what was supposed to happen because Kobe ended up getting involved in the trade with Vlade, and they got Kobe Bryant that year. So the Lakers, Orlando Magic, they like, man, we didn't get a center. You know, that's what Penny was like, dude. We didn't get a center. You know, to replace Shaq, get somebody, a big man that could score, that's versatile with the ball. He was like, why we didn't get Vlade Divac? They just traded him. So he was like, we could probably get him right now because I'm quite sure he don't want to play for them. Let's try to get Vlade Divac. And they were supposed to get Vlade Divac.
That's how they ended up getting Rodney Cycli.
Yeah, they ended up getting Cycli. And they picked up Danny Chase the next year to try to help him out, but it was a mess. The whole team was a mess after that because if they'd have got Vlade, that would have took a lot of pressure off Penny.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
You know, that's what made the Sacramento Kings when he went to the Kings. That's what helped him right away because they needed that big man who could pass out of the paint.
Pass the ball. Yep. He opened up that whole offense.
Definitely did.
Y'all forgot about John Concat. John Concat too. Orlando had John Concat.
Man, y'all bringing up names, Doug, I have not thought about in years. Danny Chase and John Concat on the same live stream is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man.
Welcome to the Orlando Magic history, baby. So they would have been right back in the thick because the thing was that Anthony Mason was on the team. He was unhappy. They could have had Anthony Mason. Charlotte wanted to give them Anthony Mason. They was like, we'll give you Mason. They would have had Mason coming off their bench. They wouldn't have lost nothing.
At all.
Right. They was like, Mason unhappy. He's a head case. We don't even want to deal with him.
Oh, yeah. That would have been a great pickup.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They ended up losing.
He was balling with the Knicks.
Right, and the Knicks was happy to get rid of Mason because Mason was, fighting people in the clubs. You know, they had to get Mason out of New York. So
I didn't know that's why. I didn't know he had a bad reputation. I thought people loved Mason, New York, man.
They did. I mean, Mason just beating people up, fighting with police.
Mason always was in some shit.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Biggie Smalls in there banging his wife, making songs. You know,
what? For real.
Yeah,
I got a story to tell.
I got
a story to tell.
That's what that was about. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm the one that broke the story. And everybody finally back.
Yeah, I remember that video.
I remember that.
Man, I ain't.
Yeah, because I had always heard it was John Starks. John Starks was like, when the song first came out, that was like the first name that popped up. He talking about John Starks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
He talking about
And I'm like, he wasn't John. I'm like, I know John. Me and John talked about this. I'll show the picture of me and John Starks. I know y'all have seen it before. I was like, me and John Starks, we in the club in the Super Bowl. We talk about it. And he was like, man, you know more than me. I'm like, because I know the chick was. The chick dated Mike Tyson for years after that. Yeah, she was the one that Mike Tyson talked about, killed this chicken. And he come home, she didn't cook them. She cooked the doggone chickens, and Mike Tyson had to break up with her quick because he was going to kill her.
Oh, wow.
God damn.
Yeah, she killed Mike Tyson's pigeons because she's from like Colombia or something. Her name is like Luz Wisby or Lesbia or something. I forgot her name now, but I knew it then. But her name is like Luz, so she's like Brazilian or something.
I bet she was fine in the motherfucker.
Yeah, she was nice. You know, Big Man was running that.
Yeah. Hey man,
he was like,
I'm like, bitch, you better talk to him. Put a spark to him. Mess around, things get dark to him. Put a spark to him. Put a major part to him. Arm, leg.
When he talking about arm and leg, that was a shot. That was like a little elbow for Keith Murray, because Keith Murray always do
Keith
that.
Murray.
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen to the Who Shot You.
Oh yeah, right.
Keith Murray. See, that version never came out, so it was on a remix. The verse was so tight, they put it on a remix on Mary's joint.
Wait, what happened with him and Keith Murray?
So Keith Murray supposed to be on Who Shot You. That was Who Shot You. That's LL, Biggie, and Keith Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, LL saw her, Biggie spitting on that, like, and he was like, "No, thank you. I'm not getting on that track."
I know, boy. I bet you LL would have got off on that beat, man.
No, it ain't about that. LL heard.
I know. I'm just saying.
He ain't stupid. LL knows. No.
I know that, but I'm
That's like
he said no.
Going off. You listen to the lyrics of Who Shot You, and you hear Big going off the way he was. He said, "I ain't getting on that motherfucker." You ain't gonna have me say,
I don't want no parts of that.
I'm not gonna go after that.
Killed you, L. He murdered that track, dude. Big. I forgot you was on the track, L. L knew that was coming. L heard that verse and was like, "I ain't getting on that. You getting on that?" Keith was like, "Hell yeah, I'm getting on that." So that verse you hear when he come in, first thing he start with arms, legs. That's where he started. It's just rough. So, that's why when he throw that line in there, loser make a part to him. Arms, legs.
Arm, leg.
Okay. I know one thing. Hey, man. Okay. I'll tell y'all this though, man.
It was a nasty freestyle, man.
I'll tell y'all this, man. I wish at that time Redman and Biggie would have made an album. I mean, made a song together, man. Because Redman in 94, 95, he was in the zone, man. I wish them two would have got on each one together.
Yeah, they were supposed to.
90, 92, 93, 94, 95.
And that's how Red was hitting them rhymes. And I was like, dude, Redman was hitting them with them bars. I was standing like Nathan
For real.
Side on vinyls, the type of antidote you gotta keep away from minors, because I'm the bomb primer.
Check my things, my styles, my
identities, no facilities. The enemies, please test these abilities. I was like, shoot,
God damn. Redman is no joke.
Forget about it, man.
Roll tight like head.
Yeah, Red was my nigga, yo.
Yeah, dog. Dark Side and What the Album, dog. Two super classics, dog.
And Muddy Waters. Don't forget Muddy Waters.
Yeah, Muddy Waters too.
Classic.
But them first two, he was just drilling them, dog. Like just the lyrics on them first two albums.
You could tell he was hungry. He was hungry.
Crazy.
See, that's why I said 95, 96, or like, you know, around that golden era, it was so much competition. You had to be outstanding.
You had to be nice, man.
Everything.
Lyricism 101.
Exactly.
People didn't realize
lyricists and songs.
Busta Rhymes.
You say what?
Redman was coming at Busta Rhymes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of Busta Rhymes, Cino, I gotta ask you a question. Why did Busta Rhymes jump on that Eminem and 50 Cent beef against Ja Rule and Irv Gotti?
Cause he said he threw Busta name in there too.
Oh damn, I didn't know.
Same old hook. Like, baby, if you give it to me, I'm gonna give it to you.
Right. Oh, okay. I had to ask you that a long time ago. My bad. I didn't mean to change the conversation, but yeah.
Going back to Redman, mentioning Busta Rhymes, though.
He was like,
"Go ahead."
You got Busta singing the same old hook.
Because I was shocked. I was like, why is Busta Rhymes on here? He was just going at Irv Gotti hard too.
Oh yeah.
Had he yet signed to Shady, or he was either about to or just
he was about to? I think he was down with him or something.
He was an afterman.
He jumped on there. He was like, "What? Bust singing the same old hook?" My lady used to manage you, dude. What you talking about?
Yeah, but I was finna say, man, you had mentioned Redman mentioning Busta Rhymes, so I'm pick it up, man. If they actually battled each other, Redman would have.
Yeah, that's what I always said. That's what he said on Pick It Up, because he was just trying to let it be known. Like, look, y'all forgetting about me. This dude kind of biting my style a little bit. Yeah. Busta's always been out there, but that's my style. He wasn't rhyming like that when he was with Poor Righteous Teachers.
Leaders of the new school.
Leaders of the new school.
Yeah, like you said, man. I've been in
the new school.
Wild shit. That wild shit.
Yeah. I invented all that
rah shit. Get wild shit.
Get up now.
Yeah.
Boy, Redman would have destroyed Busta Rhymes, man. I don't care what nobody say. Redman would have destroyed Busta Rhymes. They would have actually battled.
Oh, exactly,
man.
Bus got rhymes. Bus got some rhymes. And
Bus definitely got rhymes.
But he can't go. I
don't think you go bar for bar.
It was the style, man. Like Redman was just too raw, dog, and too lyrical, dog, for like really anybody back then.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? He just too like his voice, dog, was just too raw, dog. Too raw.
He was eating everybody up back in the day. He was eating a lot of niggas.
And I thought what's his name was gonna be another type of Busta Rhymes. My man Kid Cudi. He reminded me of Busta a little bit.
For real?
Had a lot of different flavor.
Kid Cudi?
Different styles to him. Yeah, Cudi.
Okay.
Cudi could rhyme. I mean, Cudi could rhyme. He could sing. He knew how to make a hook, get on the song, and he wrote for Kanye. I like, dude, he wrote Dark Side.
Everybody writing for Kanye.
Dark Fantasy. I'm like, dude, he was crushing that. He was crushing that. That's why he signed Cudi, because Cudi was making them hits. I was like, man,
yeah, he could sing. I just don't. I don't know about Busta Rhymes, but he definitely could sing though. Like he has some hook.
He would be up there, right? I thought he would be up there because he could actually rhyme. Like he could actually listen. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I didn't know Cudi could. I thought
that's funny because I was listening to that album with the Ghost or something like that. Kids seeing Ghost. Yeah.
See Ghost, he got bars. I'm like, dude can really rhyme.
Yeah, so he could.
It's definitely somebody he listened to from that was older. You know what I'm saying? That had some wisdom about himself.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, man. Hey, I asked you earlier, Cino, about what do you think of if C-Web would have actually went to the Orlando Magic? How do you think that little duo was with him and Shaq would have worked out?
It wouldn't have worked.
I think they would have been beefing, man.
They would have felt like it would have stunted their growth because they would have needed that point guard. They would have never went as far as they did without Penny. Penny what they needed. Even C-Web was like, that's perfect. They would have played. C-Web could have played with him, and he would have brought the ball up a couple of times. And he could play with a big man. But see, him and Juwan, they know how each other play. Shaq is a little selfish. He
sure is.
When you throw it into him, that's the black hole. He going up the dunk,
Yeah.
And that's about it.
And that's it. You ain't getting that ball back.
Right, so
Once you pass it down there, you're not getting it back.
See Webb if those two was playing together.
Yeah.
That's why it's a video on YouTube. It's a 4-hour like video of just Penny Hardaway from the time in high school till he retired. I watched it. It took me like 2 days to watch it, but I was like, man, they just don't know how good he was, man. He was good.
Yeah, some of them don't.
I remember, man.
Yeah.
Look, I'm from Detroit, man, and always the talk was who was better, him or Grant Hill. You know what I'm saying? And even being a Detroit dude, like Penny was my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like Penny's cold blooded, dog. Penny was cold blooded. He could post.
Where it really went. This is when things went left. Chuck Daly come in there after they was like, man, we finna get Chuck Daly in here. Season finna take off. So when Chuck Daly come in, he's trying to change the team to become more defensive. So he was like, look, we're going to change the team up, a little bit, and we're going to get defensive. And Jerry Krause had told him, like, look, we're going to go ahead and, try to acquire a trade because Michael Jordan wanted a trade done because he was tired of some player, I forgot. But he wanted a player going off the team.
Scott Burrell.
Probably Scott Burrell. But yeah. They wanted a trade, and then they was talking to Penny, and they had Chuck Daly in there. So they was like, okay, look, we're going to make this trade and get this going and all this because we got to make a splash because Penny was hurt. He going to need something to pick him up or get him inspired. So I think this is either the 97 year or the 98 year. That old season. But I think it was Jason Caffey. They wanted to bring Jason Caffey. He was supposed to come over to the Orlando Magic. They was interested in getting him. And the Bulls was like, man, we want to kind of keep Caffey. Ask them, do they want Dickie Simpkins? We're going to let Dickie Simpkins go for free. But Jason Caffey, we like him.
Take Dickie Simpson.
Right. They was like, we don't want him.
Ridiculous.
So, right. Then I think the Scott Burrell thing, but it ended up nothing happened at the trade deadline. Nothing went down. So, but Dickie Simpkins remained on the team.
Dickie Simpkins.
Scott Burrell, man, should have hauled off and hit Mike one time in the jaw, dad.
Yeah, man,
I was wishing like, and then like by the end of the doc, he was like, Scott Burrell, if I ever see you outside of Chicago, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm like, Scott, will you punch this nigga in the jaw, dog? Just one time, please, dog. Yeah. Like hit Mike right in his mouth, dog. Please, dog. Please.
Yeah, Scott Burrell like this. Guy was just a nice guy. He wasn't going. They was like, dude, all you gotta do is stand up to Mike one time, dude.
Yeah, that's all he wanted.
Man.
That's like when Bill Cosby said when he was gonna break Michael Jordan's leg.
See, Kobe was motivating Nick Young. He was getting in Nick Young's face because all he did was play around and stuff like that. And you can see video on that. And Nick Young just went off on one time against the Spurs.
Mike was just bullying Scott Burrell, man. He just bullying him. You know, he called all you do call him Scott Burrell down, like Scott Burrell. Like, bro, calm down, man. Like, let somebody hit this dude. Like, somebody hit this dude.
I told them way before the last dance come. I said, oh, they finna talk about Scott Burrell. Let me go and get my video out.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Last dance, they finna start talking about Scott Burrell. I know, because the whole city of Chicago knew who the punk was on the team.
Yeah, that's
man. I did not know that he was torturing. I did not know he was torturing Scott Burrell like that, dad. I mean, not that he was anybody, man, but it was like, man, dad, this dude is torturing you. He'd just be sitting there laughing, like, ha 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 ha. You know, like, bro, when you hit Mike in the mouth,
just hit him in the mouth just one time. That was straight in the mouth.
That was Dennis Hopson. Nobody ever remember that. He ruined Dennis Hopson's career, man. Dennis Hopson was great with New Jersey. And then they got Dennis Hopson on the team. He was mad because he wanted Rod Higgins on the team. And they got Dennis Hopson. He was, man, trading his ass. Dennis Hopson, Man, trade his ass. Where's Jerry? Jerry, trade his ass. I was like, man, y'all didn't show that. I was like, y'all should have showed that. It's like Dennis wasn't even there.
Man.
He was like, man, trade his ass. He was like, what? I'm gonna execute him like I did when we played him every time in Jersey. Bring your best game tomorrow in practice. I'm gonna execute you right before we trade you on the trade deadline because you gone. So I mean, he didn't go nowhere. That's the thing. They ended up keeping him. Mike was still trying to get him out there. But man, Mike was mentally messing with his head. This dude thinking like, man, Michael Jordan don't like me. I'm finna get traded. Man, Dennis Hopkins, his whole career destroyed by Michael Jordan. After that, because Mike was mad as hell.
Man, Mike would have got.
Y'all coming here with like Jerry coming in. Guess who we got? We got Dennis Hopson. He was Dennis Hopson. I kill him every damn buddy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Mike ain't shit, man.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say, man. And I didn't know how much of a country bumpkin he was too, man. That dude's a country bumpkin, dad.
Country bumpkin.
Man, like I never really heard Mike talk as much as he had, and I never realized I never heard him talk as much as, or maybe he just speaking candidly on the documentary, more candidly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But man, he got like such a southern draw. It's crazy. Like, bro, use a North Carolina fool, North Kakalaka fool for sure.
North Kakalaka. Yeah, man.
For real, man.
I was like, he just a low down, dirty mug. No matter how
he ain't shit.
He a low down, dirty bug.
Exactly.
Man. He ain't nothing, man.
Yeah, like I always said, man. If I was Scott Burrell, Mike would have got power bombed or something, man.
Yeah,
would have got
you have to stand, because you could tell he was testing him. So you got to stand up for yourself as a man. Come on, man.
I'll stand up to you, man.
It just seemed like he got to the point where he was like, man, I'm just gonna disrespect this dude whenever, however I want to. Like, oh my God, dad. I felt real. I didn't feel bad for him, but it's like, man, come on, dad. Stand up for yourself, bro.
He let him get away with it, so he just ran with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, all he had to do was clothesline him one good time, and that he wouldn't have messed with you, man.
Yeah, dad.
Even punk ass Steve Kerr had to step up to him.
Yeah.
Yo, all the interviews, man, ain't nobody talked to Scott Burrell to see how he feels about the documentary, dog. I'd have been strongly opposed to it.
Still scared of Mike.
Yeah,
still scared of Mike.
You gonna show this to everybody, dog? Like, come on,
Come on.
Like, you can't show everybody you holding me out in practice every day, dog. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Mike on
team. Penny, man, he wouldn't even listen to Chuck Daly no more.
He talking about y'all
Chuck
stop
like,
it.
Chuck quit. Chuck was like, I quit. I can't do it with this guy, man. He's like, he's like, this guy here, because in '97, after he got injured, he came back and he was crushing them. Like that playoffs against Miami. Oh my God, he went off.
He was like averaging like 40 points a game for the series. I remember that.
They were down 2-0. They was about to get swept, and Penny just went off. And that was the first time they started seeing Penny score like average 40. He just was killing the Heat by himself. And they went to game 5, and then they lost game 5, and he brought them back. Just by him just going off. Like, man, look, I can't. Dennis Scott, he can't. Give me the ball. Dennis said, I don't know where he at.
Got that beard up playing, man.
I ain't, that's his problem. I can't get involved.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Got
so
that
Penny had a killer instinct. He had a killer instinct too.
Who?
Penny. He had a killer instinct too.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
man, the game just came so naturally to him. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like he didn't have to really work for nothing. He didn't really have to struggle, man. I mean, the game, he just let the game come to him, man.
He could do whatever he wanted.
He was a baller, man.
He could do whatever
he was
he
a
wanted.
baller, man. So he was so quick, so smooth, dog. Had a smooth jumper. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget about it, dog. Forget about it.
Handles.
That's what Mike said. Like, fundamentally, this guy is, because if you got to guard him, man. He's like, you got to respect his 3-point game. So then he got the post game. There's no weakness in his game. So
none.
Yeah.
And then if you back up even further,
Shaq was a beast too before the injuries.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
but he had to take care of his body, man. He wasn't doing that.
What happened was Doc Rivers came, and that's when it really went down. Because after he got Chuck Daly out, and that's all Penny wanted, he was like, "I don't like this coach. He got to go."
They had old ass Richie Adebayo like take over for like half a season from Chuck.
Yeah, because Chuck just quit in the season. And no. Was that Richie? I think Richie took over from Hill. I think he took over from
Brian Hill, and then Chuck Daly came. Okay,
Chuck came for 3 years, and Chuck quit because Penny. He's like, I can't do it, Penny. I'm not coming back because Penny Hardaway got to go. And he's like, this guy. He's like, I can't. He's the worst player. It made Chuck quit coaching because he was like, man, he done lost the game, man. The game had changed, and he trying to get us to practice all the time and do all this, and he's got this 1980s ways, and Penny is like, the game and changed though, man. Like you saying this to Chuck Daly though, so but Penny get withdrawn. He don't listen when he the type that's gonna talk about. He's gonna just withdraw, and then that's a negative to the rest of the teammates.
Right.
Right, because if you turn away, he trying to tell you something, you just turn away. Like, man.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Because Penny was like, man, this dude, he calling these plays that's like old, like he's like, we don't have that kind of personnel. That's what Penny was trying to tell him. Like, we don't have the personnel to play the way you talking about playing. Now they could have had Tracy McGrady and Penny.
Man.
This is what I'm saying. The Orlando Magic got screwed up, and it was because of Doc Rivers.
And wasn't even Tim Duncan talking about coming there too?
Yeah, they had all these players that was going to come to Orlando. They was going to be the dynasty of the total East.
What?
It'd have been a wash right then and there. It was over. They was making a deal from Toronto to get Tracy McGrady. So right away they was getting a new head coach who was Doc Rivers. Doc came in. Doc don't like Penny because the word was out on Penny. Chuck Daly put the word out. So Doc already coaching. He come in. Him and Penny don't like each other anyway. Like Penny don't like Doc. Doc don't like Penny. And Penny was like, "Why you get him as the head coach?" He was like, "You don't want him to be the head coach?" He was like, "No. Why we get a guy who don't know what he's doing? Doesn't know Penny." He was like, "Man." He's like, "All right." Here comes Doc Rivers in there. So Doc saw Penny right away. He was like, he called a meeting, first team meeting. Penny come in there and he was like, "Listen, I'm just saying, we're gonna be doing some changes around here, and I gotta try to find a way to make the fans love you again." He was like, "What? Who the hell you think you're talking to?" He's like, he made it sound like he was a player, like I'm Nick Anderson or somebody. Like I'm Penny Hardaway. Outside on the
damn.
Team love me again. What the hell you talking? And he went there and told him, "Man, move me right now." He's like, "Well, we still negotiate." He's like, "No, it ain't." He's like, "Pat, you don't want to give me a max contract. If you ain't gonna give me the max contract," he told his agent, he was like, "Man, go see who want me." He's like, "Well, Phoenix want to give you a max deal. I'm taking it. They want to give me the max. I'm taking it." And he's like, "Give me the max. I'm out of here." And then they did a sign. He's like, "Please let us do a sign and trade. Let's get something for you. If they want to give you the max, then we'll just do a sign. We'll sign you to the max and trade you over to Phoenix. And then that way we get something out of it." He was, "All right, Pat, you work it out, but I'm gone. I ain't playing with him." Either you fire that coach right there on the spot, or I'm gone. You can deal with me that night. Man. Yeah, he dealt him that night. That morning they talked. That night, Hardaway was gone. He was gone. He's like, ain't no way. I don't even want to see him no more. Penny was like, they was like, "Penny, just let us know. I will not play with him." anybody sit there and tell me they gotta find a way to get the crowd to love me again. The hell you talking about?
I mean, what did he have? He had like a good half a season in Phoenix, or maybe a good year in Phoenix, man. And that was about it.
He got injured again. The thing is he had a good year that first year, played like 50-some games. He was decent, but he had no more explosion. So he was trying to find a way to alter his game to how his body is now.
Right.
So like, man, I had to find a way. I had to alter my game because he's like, I couldn't, no left, right, vertical, because he's like, he blew his other knee out when he was in Orlando. After he recovered from the other knee, failed it. Then he had the wrist injury. So he was like, man, I was getting banged up out there and my body was breaking down. So he's like, when he got that max deal, he was like, bet, because he already knew, like, good thing I got this max deal. He's like, and I said, I ain't settled for not taking it because I earned that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's like, man, I got max deal. So he went out there and played it. And Penny was like, man, I've already played enough to earn my money. So I want to get what I'm deserving. Knowing like y'all made a killing off me for the past 3-4 years in merchandise. Don't think I ain't noticed. Penny's like, I ain't know.
He started getting busy savvy.
I had several Penny jerseys, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man,
they had cups, magnets, because it's Orlando, baby. That's tourist town. So they sell everything. Those little pinstripes. They was the first ones with the pinstripes before the Bulls went and copied them. And those was hot. Yep. Them Bulls jerseys with the pinstripes.
The black with the red pinstripes. Yep.
Oh yeah, that was fire.
Orlando had that first with the blue pinstripes.
Y'all gonna steal our thing, man. That's us.
But Sino, you got me thinking, man. Penny and T-Mac on the man.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
And Tim Duncan.
And Tim.
That was Doc's move anyway. Doc didn't want him on the team. Doc did not want Penny Hardaway there because he was like, man, look, this guy's done. Like, his best years are behind him. And he's like, it's nothing worse. He's like, it's nothing worse than having a player that's a star player and was used to being a star player and who's not anymore. And they can't. So that's how Doc was looking at it. And he was like, when Doc come to a team, he don't like to just take over what he got. Doc gonna reconstruct everything on the doggone team.
Yeah. Lou Will was saying something similar to that.
Yeah, that's how Doc is. That's why he was like general manager. He wanted to be in control when he was with the Clippers because he wanted to be able to pick the players and have control where he can go in there and do what he got to do.
Exactly.
Nobody in there telling him or
what to do or anything.
Right. Some GM telling him something that ain't what he want to hear.
Yeah, man.
What y'all think about the NBA coming back, man? I think the shit trash.
I don't want them to come back.
I don't want to come
because I already know who they want in the finals.
Yeah, but I'm like, look, I'd rather see some basketball than none. So
I mean, yeah, but I know what's finna happen.
Exactly.
It ain't gonna be the same, man.
He said, "I know what's finna happen."
Yeah. We get to see the screw job take place live.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
Yeah, but like
man, it might not be enough screw jobs in the world to deal with the Clippers, man, or the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's true.
You gotta remember all this time that they've been off, teams gonna be rusty. You know what I'm saying? When's the last time you think Brian didn't play some ball?
Exactly. We was just talking about like that.
No, you're right.
Exactly.
Yeah, so back in 2001, I'll never forget the Orlando Magic 2001 season. They traded and got Grant Hill. So I think they got Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill. They would have had Penny Hardaway, and in his third year, Penny wouldn't have to do that much. Penny would have been a facilitator. You got Grant, another guy who could bring the ball up, and you got Tracy McGrady, another guy that could bring the ball up. Penny wouldn't have had to do that much. Y'all had a young Mike Miller on the team.
Deshaun
you got Elliot Perry, his little peanut head self. So you had him. You had a couple of players on there that could actually play. And for some reason, they always kept Daryl Armstrong
Yeah.
Man.
One hit wonder.
The one hit wonder. Wow.
Devil State.
One hit wonder, man.
Hey, let me ask y'all this.
Him and
question.
that other kid, man, I forget his name. He was a point guard from Cleveland, man. He had like one hot year, dad. They both reminded me had like the same kind of game. I can't remember his name. No, I never remember that guy's name.
Mo Williams?
Nah. This was like back in the late 90s, maybe. He had like, man, he was like everywhere, man. He played for Cleveland, little point guard, dad. He played for Cleveland, and like, man, he had like a good, like, solid half a year. I think he made the All-Star game like that year, and he was just all over it. All over it.
Gibson?
No, late 90s. Late 90s.
You talking about
Brent, thank you, dad. Yes, Terrell Brandon, dad. Yeah, Terrell Brandon, dad. Yes, them two used to always remind me of each other. Him and Daryl Armstrong, man, same kind of player.
Yeah.
One hit wonder, dad.
Hey, let me ask y'all this question in the chat real quick, man.
What's up?
I got a player comparison for y'all. Who's better between Dominique Wilkins and Clyde Drexler? Who y'all got?
Not even a question.
Yeah.
Neat.
I'm gonna take Dominique Wilkins.
Okay.
Neat.
Yeah, my first start gonna be Neat.
Okay.
But here's the thing: Clyde is a better on a team. You know, better one player. Dominique, by all means, he could just destroy you. You know, if he needed to, he'll go out and get 45 on you. He don't care who is out there.
Man,
exactly.
Dominique did not have a left hand.
He did not have a left hand.
To save his life, he wasn't gonna dribble left. He was gonna only go right.
Going life though. You wasn't finna stop him going right though.
And you couldn't stop it. You knew
yeah, exactly. That was the whole thing. Like,
but the thing,
can you stop it though? You know what I'm saying?
The thing with Glide is you could stop Glide. You could, Glide can be neutralized.
Wait, but how?
Clyde to Glide, because Clyde is like this, and it happened in the finals. If you just watch the Bulls, if Clyde don't have a jumper going,
you're right.
If he goes like. If Clyde hit like 5 jumpers in a row, that's like wonderful. To the defender in the world, they'd be like, great, because Clyde gonna stay out there all night. He ain't coming in the paint. Right. Now, if Clyde ain't hitting, then he gonna start coming in there. But if you start like forcing Clyde to play with the rest of the team, because that's what he's used to. When he was in Houston, they had 5 slammer jammer. They was moving like zip, 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 zip. And remember, they almost had Michael Jordan, Akeem Olajuwon, and Drexler all on the same team.
Wait a minute. Hold on now. Wait a minute. Where, Houston?
Yeah, rookie year.
Oh, Lord. Are you serious?
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
They got Ralph Sampson instead.
I'm quite sure you get the notification.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
But Ralph Sampson was on there too. Oh.
They were gonna have the first 2 picks in the draft. They was gonna have the first and the third. Because the first pick they took Olajuwon, of course. You do that. Right. Then the next pick was the 3rd pick. And they were gonna do a trade. They was doing a trade with Houston. With Portland, because Portland wanted Ralph Sampson. And they wanted to get Ralph Sampson, and they was gonna trade them Clyde Drexler.
So Sam Bowie when it got picked.
Yep. They wasn't trying to pick Bowie. They wanted to get
somebody got Sam Bowie, man. Sam Bowie
Ralph Sampson from Houston.
He went to Portland. Then he went to New Jersey.
So Portland was going to do the trade with Houston and said, y'all can have the 3rd pick in the draft. And we'll trade Clyde Drexler, and y'all can give us what's his name? Ralph Sampson. They wanted Sampson. They wanted the big man. They was like, y'all could take Clyde Drexler. Y'all that way. So they probably wouldn't have drafted Jordan if they already got Drexler in that trade, but you still could have had Jordan because Drexler and Hakeem.
Oh yeah, I remember this video. Yeah, I remember that video. That would have been dominant. Oh my god.
And he was like, dude, you can put your body together.
in their backcourt.
Yep. Spy Slammer Jammer was awesome.
And exactly. And they reunited at the end of their careers. It's weird that they almost was teammates that year. And then they was gonna be teammates again in '84. It was that close, and then it didn't happen again all the way to the end of his career. He went to play with the Rockets, and he won a championship.
Yep. And they got a chip together.
Yep.
They got a chip together.
That would have been too nasty. That's like a dynasty right there, man.
Exactly. And nobody could say anything because they got drafted there. And it was different trades.
Well, if Ralph Sampson, I mean, Houston would have been a bigger challenger if Ralph Sampson had held on. You know what I'm saying? Like they beat the Lakers. I know one year they beat the Lakers for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
The turnaround.
You know, like
and that's what
you think about how
I think the Orlando Magic, because they helped build the Detroit
potential of back then. Look at versus
now. Yeah, we got Ben Wallace from them.
Yep, we got Ben. They got Ben Wallace, and then they took Sean Kemp.
Right. Now this is 320 pounds, Sean Kemp. Right. You know what I'm saying?
How the hell is he gonna make your team better? That general manager should have been fired. How you look at Sean Kemp and say, okay,
right.
In the Eastern Conference in the first round, after they were up like 2 games to none, I think, and they choked, and we came back and beat them like it was like they were up like 3-1 or something in the series.
Yeah, it was they was up 3-1, and you know this is so funny because this goes back to us drafting Carmelo. So we was down 3-1. Now the reason Rick Carlisle got fired is because he didn't like to play none of the younger players. You know what I'm saying? That was like one of the main reasons he got fired. He was forced to put play Tayshaun Prince in that game. We was down 3-1. He was forced to play Tayshaun Prince, and Tayshaun Prince ended up locking down Tracy McGrady. You know what I'm saying? It saved the whole season. Tayshaun frustrated Tracy McGrady so much for the rest of the season he couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? And that became the legend. And that was like the main reason why they didn't get Carmelo Anthony, because they felt they had Tayshaun Prince. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That was the best decision they ever made, because if we would have ended up not playing Tayshaun as much, and the league was so attached to LeBron and Wade and Carmelo at the time, they wanted to promote that right. They needed to be on the right team. That wasn't going to mesh right with the team. That would have messed everything up. And people don't realize Detroit, they should have won about 3-4 championships, that team.
Yeah, that team was too good.
I think
Orlando. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I just think that, you know, when it comes down to it, man, they could have had Tayshaun and Carmelo. There was no reason for that. You know, it was like you trying to, you know, Joe was always, because, you know, he put that team together and it was kind of lucky. You know, he got a good trading Stackhouse for Richard Hamilton. You know what I'm saying? We love Stack here, but that was a good trade, trading him for Richard Hamilton. Chauncey Billups, nobody knew Chauncey Billups was going to be Chauncey Billups. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like, Chauncey Billups was a journeyman point guard the whole time, his whole career before that. You know what I'm saying? So he gave Chauncey Billups a shot. You know what I'm saying? Ben Wallace. Nobody knew Ben Wallace. When he traded Grant Hill for Ben Wallace, that was just so we can get something for Grant Hill, because Grant Hill was out the door. That was a signing trade. You know what I'm saying? So that was just so we wouldn't just totally lose Grant Hill for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So Joe kind of he architected that team. It was kind of lucky though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you know, he just tried to.
If we got lucky getting them Rip Hamilton, if it wasn't for Michael Jordan being such an asshole, we wouldn't have got Rip.
Yep. This is true. This is true. This is true.
It was like, y'all want Jerry Stackhouse? Bet. That deal tomorrow.
Yeah.
Everybody like, yeah, Dax. I'm like, Stack was cool. Stack wasn't going. No, you weren't gonna win no shit with Stack.
You wasn't gonna win nothing with Stack. Like, Stack was a good one-on-one player. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the time, he was like, Couldn't nobody really stop him from going to the hole. You know what I'm saying? And I used to like Stack too, because he used to come on the east side and party all the time, man. Like him and Cliff Robinson. So some people really like Stackhouse, you know what I'm saying?
Cliff was so messed up, man. He had blunts behind his ear, Cliff. I'm like, yo, Cliff.
Yeah.
At least had the appearance that you don't smoke. Cliff Robinson, I've never seen an NBA player that openly smoke in my life. I'm like, Cliff, dude, you ain't supposed to be.
He was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna let y'all know.
What, like behind your ear? He was like, what the?
Yeah, Dad.
Oh, man.
Yo, if you ever looked at Cliff Robinson lips, man, Cliff Robinson lips so black, dog. It's like, bro, you ain't never had like a roach clip or nothing, dog. You just smoked it all the way to the fire. You know what I'm saying? Every time, dog.
Damn.
Right. In the first 4 games, T-Mac was killing them. And then in that 5th game, it was the time to close. They put Tayshaun on him, dude. It was like he disappeared. Disappeared.
It was crazy. Turn the whole series around. T-Mac by the 6th game, he didn't have no confidence. Nothing, you know what I'm saying? And the Pistons just won.
That was an MVP year for him. Like that season.
Yeah.
In his career.
He was
like I said, he was killing us. He was killing us. We didn't have no answer for him. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like I think they had like Corliss Williamson starting. He was trying to guard him. That wasn't working. They tried to put Rip on him. Rip was too small. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, Carlisle, he really didn't want to play the rookies, and that was like a big beef, you know. And he finally was forced. They forced him to put Tayshaun in that last game, you know what I'm saying, before the elimination, and it ended up turning the whole season around.
Yeah, because after that, they what happened after that? That turned the whole thing. The games were blowouts. They blew them out in Detroit by like 20. Then they blew them out again the next game by like 20, and then they won again. The last 3 was like 20-point blowouts.
Yep, it wasn't even close.
All 3 games were blowouts, and that was the beginning of the end for the Orlando Magic for a long time, to like that 08, 09, during that whole run when they had the big 3. Orlando had the best teams that 08, 09, 010 season.
Right, with Turkoglu and Howard.
That era, I was like, that's when they were coming back. And I was like,
Lewis and all them, man.
And that's crazy.
Oh, yeah, that was a good team.
Turkoglu, the day he got signed, we was in Las Vegas, and he had just signed that contract with Orlando. And we was all at that party. Paul Pierce, all of us. We was at coach party, birthday party. And we all sitting there on the rooftop kicking it. That's the one I showed y'all the pictures for. Turkoglu sitting there chilling. I was like, yeah, he went to Orlando, started eating like crazy. Well, yeah,
definitely did.
Michael Petrus, but Petrus was playing. That's one thing about him, though. He gave him a like physicalness. He was really attacking the ball and defensively.
Defender, yeah. He was a hell of a wing defender, man.
I wonder why. He was like, I'm going to be on his butt like right on right. And I was like, all right, go ahead, Petrus. He's like, dude, they called time out. Why you still guarding him? Like, get up off of him, man.
Yeah, but what always killed me about that team, like I knew Turkoglu was a decent player out in Sacramento, but man, I mean, he basically led that team. You know what I'm saying? Like he put that team on the shoulders and kind of carried the weight for him. I didn't even know he had that kind of ability. You know what I'm saying? At that time, you know, but he would handle the ball. He was the playmaker for that team.
Yeah, and then T-Mac threw his back out, man, at very next playoffs against I think it was the Hornets. They was playing the Hornets, and he threw his back out. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, man!" They was gonna win that series, and I was like, "Yeah, Orlando done. He can't move. He was still hitting, but couldn't really move no more."
That was the beginning. That was basically the beginning of the end for T-Mac too.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
it really was.
Yeah, man. So it was, man. Until he played with Houston for a little bit.
Because that
He was actually doing good in Houston for a little
how
bit.
many? He might have played what 3 years with Houston before.
Yeah, like about
like
3
what
years.
3-4 years.
Yeah, like 3-4 years. Yeah, he got there in like 2004. Played there for like about good 3 or 4 years.
Like
I never forget what happened.
7.
They had a chance to trade Brian Cooks and Keith Bogans in the middle of the season, and that would have helped them beat Boston that year. And they didn't do it, and it cost them, and they played Boston, the Orlando Magic. I never forget it.
Oh,
man, Keith Bogans was a bum, dog.
They kept him.
Keith Bogans was a bum, man. Him and Brian Cook, man.
They traded him halfway. That's how they ended up going to the championship that year. They got rid of him at the.
I didn't mess with neither one of them.
Before the trade deadline, they was like, "Bogans, you out of here. Bogans, you out. I can't take it no more. You gone." And they got rid of the dude from used to play up here in Illinois. I wanted to slap him because I was like, he the softest big man I've ever. And this dude, all he would do is shoot threes. I'm like, dude, you like 6'11". The hell you gonna go in the paint?
Which player are you talking about?
As long as they going in, I'm like, dude, Brian Cook. Brian Cook. I couldn't stand Brian Cook. I was like, man, Brian Cook don't fight.
Yeah, he was a bum.
He used to sell a lot.
That dude was like the softest dude ever, dad.
He was robbed.
Nah, he just the tissue paper, man. Tissue paper, dad.
That's how he got in the league. Robert Horry got him.
Yeah, because he had a look.
Because he had that 3-point shot.
He had a little touch. Yep, he had a little touch.
Yeah, that was it.
And that dude was soft as Charmin, dad. Charmin tissue paper, dad.
Soft as baby water.
Oh man, like
man.
If Dean Smith would have ran this offense through Vince Carter, would they have won a championship? Because he ran his offense through Antoine Jameson.
You said what?
Say that again.
Man, it was crazy. That that 94. You talking about that 94 UNC team?
The 97, 98 when Vince Carter was there at Carolina.
Oh yeah, but they choked. Yeah. They choked. That showed me right there. Couldn't deal with pressure.
Yep.
He couldn't deal with that pressure. Plus, he didn't have no jump shot. Once they cut the lanes off and he couldn't dunk, he was done. He was done. He had to hit a jump shot. And
that team was loaded, dog.
Yeah, but they down the stretch, it was like, okay, we're gonna go to Vince. Vince couldn't shoot.
Yep.
Crazy.
Stacking Rashid, if they would have stayed, that would have been a killer team too.
Definitely would have.
They was loaded in the 90s, man. They was loaded in the 90s, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that
loaded. And then the funny thing.
Yeah, after they went to the NBA Finals, the next year they made a trade and ruined their whole damn team. They brought Vince Carter over there to play with the White House. They brought Vince Carter over there and threw their whole mix off. Because at this time, Vince ain't really Vince no more.
Right.
Nah,
yeah.
For the paycheck, Vince.
Yeah.
So Vince
hanging on Vince.
Okay, this Vince chance to get a championship. Let's go. They went in there and played the Boston Celtics, and they made the wrong trade for Vince. They thought like this can get us to a championship. They needed Vince Carter, and people need to see that series. If they kept Brandon Bass was the key. Brandon Bass was in there getting boards, being physical, and I'm like, Vince Carter's in the way, and Matt Barnes should have been playing more. Matt Barnes is looking like, yo ass scared.
Oh man.
Man, that's what ticked me off, man. You got White Chocolate on the team, handling the ball, man. They was doing good. I was like, guy, you got Birdman. You got your dogs in there. You got Bass in there, power forward. I'm like, they ain't had. He the last power forward I seen really like him. He was boom. I'm like, look at this Bass going up strong. I'm like, who is this Bass? I'm like, yeah, he getting it done. I'm like, that's a big boy there. Look at him. I was like, this is a team. They can go back to the final. Nope.
Hold on, I gotta switch phones.
Boston was healthy then. KG was back then, and he was just punking everybody, especially Howard and the rest of them.
Yeah,
that was always their biggest weakness. Like I remember, man, the Pistons used to still get Orlando, even when Orlando was kind of getting better, you know, because like she used to just go down there and punk Dwight Howard, man. You know what I'm saying? Just punk him around like a little kid. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude, man. That's another Charmin tissue soft dude, man.
Exactly.
Right. And then that's how it all went crumbling down. The very next year, they had the same team again, like we finna run it, go back to the Eastern Conference Final, and they lost my money, lost in the first round to the Atlanta Hawks, and lost my damn money. I said, I'm done. They done. They'll never be in.
Wait a minute. Was that the Joe Johnson team?
Yeah, the whole my cousin was like, man, they let the game play. It's the game.
Man.
That's Joe Johnson and Joe Smith. Yeah, Joe Smith out there looking like the game.
Yeah. Look, Dak, if you
I'm like, Chris Duhon, what the hell?
Chris Duhon. Oh man.
Duhon.
Yeah, Chris Duhon was trash.
Duke in Kansas is like the feeding ground for the doggone Chicago Bulls. They got that North Carolina connection, buddy. You went to Kansas? Good. Come on down. You went to Duke? Oh, come on. I'm like,
it's an open road.
Duke point guard been worth the damn ever. Grant Hill was their last hope.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't even consider him Duke.
Hey, remember? Speaking of that, man, you talking about your Orlando lost your money. Remember? There was a live stream like 20
arenas. Yeah. They had arenas. Dwight Howard, Petrus. They had Jason Richardson, Quinn Richardson. They had Turkaloo, Vince Carter, and Bass. How you lose?
to Atlanta, Dad. To Atlanta. Man, Joe Johnson can't wait to choke a playoff series. That's his mission. That is his mission in life.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring up a bet against the Boston Celtics. Oh God, he needed Joe Johnson just to score 2 more points, and he would have hit this dog on parlay. And he was like, "We got 2 quarters." We got it at the half. Joe Johnson, baby. All we need is 2 points. Joe Johnson for the rest of the game. My cousin said this to the day. If I ever see him, Joe Johnson, that's the guy. Hey, I'm gonna make them pay me my money.
Well, you owe me money, man.
And he sweated to this day. He still ain't let that go. He's like, dog, how you score 1 point for a whole half, man?
It's ridiculous, man.
Man, they paid him to do that. He swear to God it went down. Like everybody got in there to screw him up out of his bet. Like it's this dude out there in Chicago that got a bet, Joe. We don't want him to win.
It was like I never thought he was a superstar player like that. I couldn't believe Atlanta tossed him all that bread in the first place. Like when he was with Phoenix, man, he was a role player. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A role player. Stand in the corner, shoot the ball, dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he had to be the man, it was too much pressure for him.
Right.
Yep. Exactly. He wasn't that guy.
Yeah, in Brooklyn, he wasn't a man either.
Nah, he was way gone by then.
Way back.
Yeah.
My man Sean Dockery.
Sean Dockery.
I haven't heard Sean Dockery name in so long, man. And now I'm from Chicago. And I'm like, Sean.
Yo, this is the most this is the live stream with the most random NBA players I've ever heard, Dad. I swear to God, Dad. I mean, I'm hearing names, Dad. I swear to God, I haven't heard in 20 years, Dad.
Damn.
Hey, Cino, remember? But Cino, remember? I did a live stream with like the San Antonio Spurs going against the Lakers, and they almost lost. The Spurs almost lost because of the frozen LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh God.
Oh,
Frozen.
Man, I just don't understand him. I don't understand that.
He was like, I want every
Frozen is really the Frozen, man.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, how did you let this happen? Like, how do you be going like one game he just go like 35?
Oh man, it was bad. It was bad. I was watching it with you, man.
And they the same mentality.
He one of them.
Same mentality, both of them, man.
Yeah, he's just too streaky.
You shoot it.
Good Lord.
I'm like, give the ball, and that's why Coach Pops drew the play up for the what's his name, Patty Mills. Patty Mills, like, just give it to me.
He said, "Just give it to me."
Like okay, I'll shoot.
Going in the paint. He mean. You heard what he yelled at me last time? Yeah, he Burrell was in Milwaukee. They sent him. The Bulls sent his butt up to Milwaukee, and I forgot what player it was. Dude was like, "That's all right. You gonna get traded." I think they somebody like, "You gonna get traded." And Scott Burrell was like, "Why you say that to him, man? Now it's all in his head, and he's really worried and concerned about getting traded, man. Now you done said that to him. You didn't have to say that to him. Man. You done hurt his feelings." I'm like, "Dude, what did you talk? He ain't on your team."
Like, ain't we grown here?
Yeah, like, you ain't got to say it to him like that. Scott Burrell, man. That's why I was like, Scott Burrell has always been that dude.
Man, but
he messed up that playing game because he thought he was a role player anyway. He was like, "Oh man, he ain't gonna be here in a week. Don't worry about him. He gonna be cut." And he was like, they messed up his whole game. He was done after that. He's like, man, he's like, then Scott Burrell came to him like, "Why'd you say that to him?" You know, he really heard about that. You know, I'm like, dude, you told me that player of the opposition. You looking like, I am not on your team. That ain't my concern, man. Like, you might get cut next week. You
man.
Like, dude, I am not on your team, bro.
That live stream 2 years ago that you did with for that game was hilarious, dude.
Yo, that was hilarious.
I'm sorry, man. That shit, I couldn't help but laugh. Even I was in that live stream, man. Even though I was just as mad, I couldn't help but laugh at you.
You gonna have to, you gonna make me go back and find that stream. I already got 30,000 things to do. I don't know why everybody in the world thinks like I'm like doing request. I'm like, 3-hour live stream. Dude, like, man, I texted you 2 times. I'm like, dog, I was on a 3-hour stream. You was in the stream. What the hell you mean? It ain't like you don't know where I'm at.
Like, I want every social security number.
I want your social
security
I don't have time to go back and forth with you all day. You just trying to get away. I'm like, dude, I answered your question. You know, I got one more, man. If you think Biggie, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and Big Pun all together made a one record, who would have the best verse? I'm like, man, I don't. I was like, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I mean, my man reached out to me on like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I'm like, dude, you done found me on every single one.
Must have been real.
Track you down for 3 months, man.
He must have had a bet on that one. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
See, I told you.
Man, if it wasn't for Rudy doing what he did in that game, man, the Spurs would have lost that.
Oh, for real.
Oh, man. That last stream was iconic.
I mean, yeah, DeRozan is another one, man. The lights be too bright for him.